Hi there, students. I had a question from Forlearn about what's the difference between to admonish and to exhort. Well, the first thing to remember is both of these are fairly formal verbs. Yeah. Let's see. We can use the verb to admonish in two different ways. And I think the primary usage of to admonish means to tell somebody off. You shouldn't have done that. Yeah, to tell somebody they've done something wrong. So there was a mother admonishing her kids for running across the road without looking. Yeah, to admonish, to reprimand somebody quite fairly strongly, but not very, very strong. Yeah, the teacher admonished me for making some silly mistakes, to reprimand. Now, to admonish can also be used to mean to advise someone or to urge someone to do something. And that is the meaning of exhort as well, to urge someone to do something very strongly. Yeah, but let's see, I think to exhort is much stronger than to admonish. Yeah, let's see, I really think you ought to do that. It would be a very good idea. It would help you a lot. And that would be admonish and exhort. You've really got to do it. You're going to be in terrible trouble if you don't do it. It would be a terrible mistake to do it. And please, for your sake, I beg you to do it. And that's to exhort. Yeah? So I think to admonish is to advise somebody in a friendly way, whereas I think to exhort is something much stronger. Also, the usage of admonish, meaning to rebuke, to tell off, is much, much more common. The usage of admonish to mean to advise somebody to do something, or to advise them against doing something, this is much less common. Yeah, so I think if you're choosing between the words admonish and exhort, I would use admonish just for this to reprimand, to tell off, whereas I would use exhort to advise somebody to do something, to advise someone to do something quite strongly. Let's see, I think both of these words, I'm going to give them, I think, a 7 in formality. I wouldn't use them in an informal conversation. I wouldn't use them in a semi-formal conversation. I think in a semi-formal writing and above. And then if we look at the origins as well, it will help us understand. Let's see, admonish comes to us from French, but from Latin, admoneo. Okay, meaning to warn, moneo, to warn or to advise. Yeah, whereas exhort comes from Latin, exhortor, to encourage, ex out of, and ortor, to incite, to spur on, to push on. Yeah, so I think the admonish is just warning somebody, well, it's not going to be so good, whereas the exhort, you're pushing them as hard as you can to do something. I think both of these verbs we would use to admonish somebody not to do something, to warn them, to exhort somebody not to do something, to beg them not to do it. Okay, so to admonish, to scold or to urge. Yeah, to exhort, to urge very strongly, to strongly encourage somebody to do something, to try to animate them to do it, to enjoin them to do it. Okay, so let's go back again. Admonish, to tell off, to scold, to be angry with. Primary meaning. Admonish meaning to warn or to advise, possible but much less common. Exhort, to strongly encourage. Yeah. So I think that's probably enough. I think I've given the difference quite clearly. So here come my exhortations for you to give me a video, give me my rating of video. Please, I exhort you. Yeah? Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. To exhort and to admonish.